It's time to build. It's time to build without hurdles, without limits, without bullshit, gas fees, congestion, and low performance. The only thing holding you back is your imagination. The book is binding. The pages are blank. It's time to write your story.
What's up, Cosmoverse? How are you guys? It's the evening, finally. It's time to party, right? Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm Rebecca Liao, co-founder and CEO at SAGA, and I'm so thrilled to share our project with you this evening. So our saga begins with a question. Why are we here? Not here, Medellin. We know why we're here. But why are we here generally? Why are we building in Web3? Let's do some real talk, which is that we've let other people define us. What they say, that we're speculators, we're tech opportunists, we're anarchists, we're nihilists, we're solutioneers for non-existent problems. We're wasting our time, basically. So why are we here? Because we build, we own, and we choose. We build, we own, we choose. We are here because Web3 is about self-determination. We are the heroes of our own sagas. Our mission is to take you on a hero's journey. This is a quote that defines this project and continues to inspire the entire team and all of our contributors every day. It comes from Joseph Campbell, who has inspired many, many franchises, including Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, etc. So what is a hero? A hero ventures forth from the world of common day into a region of supernatural wonder. Fabulous forces are there encountered, and a decisive victory is won. The hero comes back from his mysterious adventure with the power to bestow boons on its fellow man. Welcome to Saga. So let's go through our product first. The world of Web3 is the metaverse. The metaverse is becoming the multiverse. Saga is the next 1,000 chains in the multiverse. For those of you in Cosmos, this will be no surprise to you, but developers want their own chains. Chains want to connect with other chains. And therefore, Saga is a chain to launch chains. Let's go through the product. Here we have the Saga mainnet. That's a lot more complicated than that, but you get the idea. Here we have the Saga mainnet. XYZ developer, a project, another layer one. They request what we call a chainlet, which is a dedicated chain on Saga. The mainnet will then provision that XYZ chainlet, and it becomes a part of the Saga ecosystem. The XYZ smart contract binary is then deployed. Now, what does all this mean? Developers like to develop in virtual machine environments, and therefore, we are enabling developers to automatically deploy their single-tenant VMs onto dedicated chains or chainlets. The first kind of VM that we support is the EVM, because we see how popular it is with developers. But our ambition is to be VM agnostic, and therefore, we will support CosmoWasm next. We may support a Move VM, a Solana VM, calling out contributors out there. We'd love to help you build out our ecosystem. All right, so as these chainlets proliferate, we get to the next 1,000 chains in the multiverse. All right, so what is Saga for? Who is it for? It is for developers, as you probably get the message already, but it's also for other L1s. Saga is also a great way to horizontally scale your block space on the back end. It is also for new, as well as established projects. And I'll explain a little bit more how that works in a bit. Let's focus on developers first. Developers are the heroes at Saga. Everything we do for the developer community. So how does a developer deploy on Saga? So first, the developer is going to select a chainlet subscription. Doesn't sound very Web3. Sounds more like a cloud service. Well, that is deliberate. We think that block space should be a commodity. Block space should go to a developer as long as they're able to pay the fee to maintain that block space, and as long as they're able to deploy their application onto it. So that brings us to the second requirement, which is a fee bond. This is not Polkadot bullshit style fee bond. We do not run auctions on the front end. We are trying to make block space a commodity. We are trying to make block space as cheap as possible for developers, and therefore your subscription is tied to the fee bond, and it is a bond that you put up front so that you are compensating the validators for providing security for your chainlets. However, that fee bond is by design supposed to be as low as possible. All right, then based on a deploy command, the SAGA validators are going to automatically provision a chainlet for you. Going forward, the developers are going to continue to do smart contract deployments, and those will go directly onto the chainlets. So after that first deployment, you are on your own chainlet. This is your space. It is, for all intents and purposes, your own sovereign chain. So what used to take you 8 to 10 months of engineering time, effort, resources, you name it, to recruit a validator set, to come up with a security model, a token model, et cetera, now it is down to command line. All right, so once the chainlet is running, so there's an application that's running on the chainlet and interactions are happening in the ecosystem. What do those look like? So the developer in our ecosystem is responsible for coming up with the business model for their application. We do not charge gas fees directly to the end user. Let me repeat that because it's a promise. We do not charge gas fees to the end user. We think it is a shitty user experience, and we want Web3 to do better. So it is up to the developers to decide on a business model for monetization. Some of them offer their applications for free. Some decide they want to continue to use fiat because that's what their users like. Some of them decide to use the native token for whatever virtual machine they use to deploy. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. But at any rate, once your application starts running, then it'll be the end users who are calling the smart contracts. As traffic goes through the system, the fee bond that the developer had posted at the beginning is going to start to diminish because you are paying those validators for keeping that chainlet alive. That means computing power in addition to security. So your fee bond is going to start to deplete as traffic goes through the system. However, a developer is always able to keep replenishing that fee bond. All right, and where do those fees go? They go to validators, and the validators are also compensated by inflation, of course. And then what happens for the stakers? The stakers see the inflation net of commissions. So once we have the application on the SAGA ecosystem, this is what it looks like, rinse and repeat to the next 1,000 chains. All right, so I've covered the use case so far where we are talking about a developer launching onto a chainlet. But what about other L1s? What about other ecosystems that are looking to scale because they have scalability issues because they don't have their own block space? So this is what it looks like. So these partner networks of ours, they obviously have their own ecosystems of developers and applications. We don't want to replace that. These partner networks worked hard to get those ecosystems up and running. They've been servicing those ecosystems, and frankly, their dApp developers and their users are accustomed to being on those partner networks. So we don't want to disturb those front-end relationships. We take care of it with the partner network on the back end, same way that we do with the developers on the front end when it's just a developer deploying a chainlet. So once again, the dApp developer is going to go ahead and deploy their smart contract onto the partner network. They don't notice anything different other than the fact that it might run a little faster. All right, and then the partner network is the one that's going to request a chainlet, and then they're the ones who are going to post the fee bond or the fee deposit. So again, we are invisible on the front end to the dApp developers. We deal directly with the partner networks here. What's nice for the networks is that now all of a sudden they have horizontally expanded their block space on the back end. All right, the SAGA mainnet, once again, will automatically provision that chainlet. The dApp developer, whether they know it or not, is now interacting directly with a SAGA chainlet that belongs to that partner network that we've worked with. Now let's run through the ecosystem flow again. The end user, once that dApp has been deployed by that partner network, they're the ones who are going to make the smart contract calls because they're the ones who are using that application. Once again, end users do not pay gas fees on SAGA. So then once the end users are using the application, then there will be a fee withdrawal from the fee bond that the partner network had posted. And the partner network is going to continue to replenish that fee bond or deposit over time, same way a developer would. Now, what happens when the partner network starts to reap all of these revenues from the fact that they have horizontally expanded their block space, but their token is now being used in many, many more use cases and across many more applications at a far greater capacity? They're able to distribute the balance of whatever they make on a SAGA chainlet to partner network stakeholders, or they can retain it as revenue, up to them. All right, so to review, the SAGA product is permissionless, automated deployment of VM-based applications. I know you guys are going to ask this question later. How are you guys different from the Hub interchain security? Hub interchain security is permissioned. You have to go through a governance route in order to get a consumer chain on the Hub. A great model for many projects out there. We believe if you want a chain, you get a chain, as long as you can pay for that fee bond. And there are ways that we can help you with that as well. But that's why we have made ourselves permissionless. For the validators out there, you understand the challenge. If you are asked to stand up a chain on command, it is a new model for you. So we are not going to ask our validators to maintain these chains via Telegram group chats, Slack chats, or however you now do it with the chains that you validate. Of course, we're going to have automated validator orchestration, as well as a set of tools to help you automate those processes so that you can get the rewards from validating those 1,000 chains. All right, so we've talked about the product. Let's go to the next phase. We launched our AlphaNet September 8th this year, so 2 weeks ago. Now, we believe very deeply that in order to build a successful Web3 project, you need more than just the infrastructure. You need a set of tools around your application. You also need a business ecosystem that really supports your objectives. And so it's never too early to build ecosystem. That's the philosophy we follow at SAGA, and we've put that into practice. We opened up a SAGA Innovator program in May when we closed our seed round, and we opened up 55 slots for innovators. These are path-breaking projects that have chosen to build mostly in gaming and entertainment, and they are the first ones to get chainlets on the SAGA ecosystem. So we opened up a slot for 55. We filled that along with the launch of our AlphaNet a couple weeks ago. So who are these innovators? They're games, lots and lots of games. We are focused primarily on gaming and entertainment because we see that that is where the most urgent need for your own dedicated chain is. That's not to say that DeFi couldn't use this, as you will see some of our innovators are DeFi projects, but for gaming and entertainment, this is existential. You cannot have a compelling game and entertainment experience if you have low performance, expensive chains to build on. So lots of games. Gaming platforms and infrastructure, like I said, there are many, many things that go into building an application. It's not just the infrastructure. So it's important for us to work with partners early on who have understood the problem of building games in Web3 or building really compelling NFT projects. So we have quite a few tooling and infrastructure partners to help out our innovators. Gaming DAOs, also very important. These are where the players are, and of course, games want players. They also have really great insight as to what makes a great Web3 game. NFTs and entertainment, big category for us. We would like to see even more projects in this space, but we think that a world in which people are able to stand up NFT projects, those NFT projects are interoperable with one another such that you can send your entertainment assets anywhere across the Web3 ecosystem is the holy grail for NFTs, and that's definitely an objective that we have when we're building. All right, and finally, DeFi. Like I said, DeFi will always be at the heart of crypto, and I think there isn't a single person on the team who is not a big consumer of DeFi. So we understand how important it is. But again, having your own dedicated chain is a nice to have. It is not a must have for DeFi at the moment. So we're honored to have these DeFi partners. However, most of our go-to-market BD is focused on seeding a gaming and entertainment ecosystem for the moment. All right. Coming soon is cohort number 2 of SAGA Innovators. So there are 55 who made it into the initial cohort. We are going to open up a second cohort now, basically. We thought we would wait until beginning of next year because we want to give our 55 innovators a lot of time and attention, and we will continue to do that, but the demand has been such that we don't want people to wait 4 months before becoming a part of our ecosystem. And so that second cohort is open now. If you are a gaming and entertainment project, if you would like to build on a dedicated chainlet on Saga, we would love to get in touch with you. I promise you will get a response. Our team is incredibly BD focused, as you can tell, and so we reach out and interact with every single project that comes across our way. So we'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get to the last part, which is our roadmap. What do you have to look forward to? All right, so what we have right now is what we call Andromeda. This is the very first version of our AlphaNet. This is a chain launcher developer tool. It allows you to deploy and manage cloud infrastructure for your own EVM chainlets. 2023 Q1, so in a few months' time, our second version of AlphaNet will come out. And this is a chain to launch chain. So this is where you start to see Saga really come together. It is beyond just a developer tool. It is now a protocol secured by validators that these projects are able to launch, again, EVM-based chains. Towards the middle of next year, we're going to get to DevNet and testnet. Now, what does that mean? I mentioned that a lot of the magic that happens at Saga is really on the back end. It's really with respect to the validators, because spinning up a new chain is on the validators at the end of the day. And so between now, essentially, and second half of next year, most of our developer time is going to be spent on that automated validator orchestration. With DevNet and testnet, you're going to see a lot of the features that you love about Cosmos as well. You're going to see IBC interconnected chains, shared security, validator orchestration, and of course, incentivized testnets. So keep an eye out for those. It is a little ways away, but we are looking to have a very robust environment in which people can build on the testnets and of course, see what needs to be done on Saga in order for them to successfully deploy. All right, and last but certainly not least, mainnet. Mainnet is scheduled for second half of next year. We will keep you updated with more precise timing as we develop. We do follow a monthly release cycle, which is pretty fast as far as crypto projects go. But our goal is to be iterative. We are interacting with a lot of projects every day. They're building on Saga. They're giving us feedback about the product. And that feedback is getting reflected back into what we are building. And so we want to release that as quickly as possible to get more feedback, so on and so forth. That's how we build at Saga. So by middle of next year, you'll have a mainnet to look forward to, and that will be the Saga protocol. It will have the fully decentralized validator set. It will allow you to automatically spin up, once again, those EVM-based chainlets. We may support another VM at that time, not too sure right now, but that is what we know and love as Saga. And with that, I'm going to play a short video to really illustrate what you guys have to look forward to. Thanks so much, guys.